All right, guys, good morning and welcome to today's episode of Market Check. I am Snorlax. You also know me as Tommy. I'm joined, as always, by Max, Tucker, and Dr. Will's Outlook. Um, Welcome, guys, to another week. Happy Monday. I hope everybody had, an enjoyable weekend, spent some time with your family, or if you didn't, spent some time outside, hopefully. As far as crypto goes, I don't think there's really been too much opportunity over the last few weekends. So, I hope everybody had a weekend conducive and helpful for them to tackle, this upcoming week, given that we finally, do have a little bit of an increase in volatility within equity markets to kind of start this week, right? Apple is falling off a cliff. It's down almost 2% today. Tesla as well is starting to look very, very bearish. It's down not quite as much as Apple, but I do think the chart looks fairly bearish from what I was, peeking at just this morning. So, we've had this asset class that has been just impeccably strong all year. And this is the first weakness that you can kind of point to since at least probably March or April. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on as far as, where do equities pull back to? And, is that, we make a decision there. Is that going to be, kind of a continuation point or, a possible higher low, looking for, higher prices, maybe even into the end of the year or next year? I think that's kind of the question I have right now, and especially as it relates to risk markets such as Bitcoin, which we're going to talk about, of course, as we do every show, guys. Bitcoin has had such low volatility. I think it's kind of funny, Tucker, that you posted that on Twitter, making fun of how low vol the weekend was. And I feel like we haven't had a weekend with any real volatility on Bitcoin. It feels like, outside of maybe a Sunday afternoon scam pump. Other than that, there's really it's been starved of volatility outside of, certain altcoin markets. So, I was hoping for some movement last weekend, but it's not surprising that we didn't get it. That doesn't mean that it's far away, though, right? Because if equities are starting to show like they want to, maybe break down, and if that breakdown involves pulling back maybe a little bit deeper than most people would feel comfortable with, what does that entail for Bitcoin? What does that entail for crypto? You would certainly hope it would induce a little bit of volatility into the market. Just unknown what necessarily that would bring, but I want to open the floor, guys. I want to hear about everybody's weekend first. Did everybody have, a good time with family, spend some time outside? I know, Tucker, you were telling me a little bit you were moving in some family, so I think that was probably up and down. But Max and Will, how was y'all's weekend?
My weekend was good, man. I just hung out with family, wife, and my 6-week-old mainly. But yeah, it was great, pretty chill. Didn't really get any fireworks in the market. I was kind of hoping we'd get a big sell in Bitcoin or something like that. But yeah, more of kind of just the same. If anything, the range is actually contracting, so we're having less and less price action as time goes on. But yeah, I'm still pretty convicted that we do test some lower levels here. And actually, I've started to position short in equities for the first time in months. I haven't played really any. I've been playing, some small caps and equities across the board. Just kind of just enjoying the stock pickers market. But I haven't really positioned, especially to the downside with conviction, in quite some time, and I'm starting to build that position right here. So, look, if seasonality tips its hat to us in any way, typically August, September are not the best, especially during a pre-election year. There's also a strong case to be made that equities could pull back potentially later this week. I mean, the big issue I see is that, for like the past year straight, we've had CPI dropping month over month. I mean, consistently. It went from 9 to 8.7 to 8.6, 8.4, 7.7. Every single month has been a lower headline print than the previous one. And now, as of last month, headline was at 3.0. Now the street's basically pricing in like 3.3 as the forecast. So potentially, could that be our catalyst, that CPI is, even just like year over year ticking up ever so slightly, which is not that big of a deal, but it's just slightly different than what we've seen. Maybe. I'm more focused on the technical structure that I've seen break across the board. It looks pretty ogre to me, hence my background. It's ogre. I'm just kidding. It's not over, but it might be ogre in the short term. And here's the thing too. The S&P 500 could pull back all the way to 4,300 or 4,250 and still be in a very healthy structural uptrend. So I'm expecting downside, over the next 2 to 4 weeks, truthfully. Now, the asterisk there, as always, is these markets are crazy right now, man. These markets are absolutely wild. If we see a break of structure and a trend continuation to the upside, then I'm going to come right back on here a week from now and say, yeah, guys, the show goes on. We're going to an all-time high. And by the way, I still think we could go to an all-time high. I absolutely think that it's feasible that we could head up towards an all-time high later this year after a 30-day, potential pullback or, just a little reset, I mean, the Dems are going to do everything they possibly can to just pump this market up going into the election. So I think, look, if we get a little bit of a pullback here, it's healthy, it makes sense, but I wouldn't expect much lower than like 4,250 if we did get a substantial pullback. So anyways, those are some thoughts for me, but yeah, I have positioned short here. I won't explain my where I'm positioned. That's exclusive for the Discord. They know the exact position, exactly what I'm expecting, entries and everything. But I will say this: I have positioned short in equities with not small size for the first time in months, a long time. So, anyways, yeah, that's what's going on. But Dr. Outlook, man, talk to me. I know you're still feeling a little bit bullish out in these streets. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can hear me okay, right?
Yeah.
As of right now, until structural integrity is broken, and what I mean by that is the uptrend, or at least the trend, right? Until that's broken, I'm not bearish at the moment at the markets. I think a lot of these pullbacks are small and minute in size, and I think that there's potential for definitely some more cool down. But I'm not very fearful of any type of structural breaks at the moment. I think trend wise, if you look at it from a trend aspect, the trend's still up. If you were to draw lines straight across the bottoms and supports on just about any chart out there, from your lows to your mid range to your highs, you're well above trend, but you're still above trend, right? So your pullbacks can be pretty good, but at the same time, with your pullbacks being good, no,
oh man,
I don't mean circles. I mean
get
lines.
out of my swamp, donkey.
At the end of the day,
Look at that, man.
Look, I don't subscribe to half circle trend lines. I just don't.
Oh my!
That's called a parabola, brother.
It's got
a broken parabola.
Parabola at the end of the day is like it's like Mickey Mouse or Minnie. At Disneyland. It doesn't exist. But anyway,
it's Fugazi. It's fairy dust. It's never settled.
I don't think we could have gone any more straight up than we did, though.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of trend. If realistically though, Tucker, if you were to take a line and just roll it from the first low to the second low there, and just run it straight up, right? I think your pullback can be there in size.
Yeah.
Like that, saying, your pullback can be there in size.
Yeah, there you go.
But your trend is still holding, right? And that's the
what
biggest
you heard what I said, Will. I said that it'd still be a high time frame structural uptrend, and we could potentially look for a bounce even to all time highs at 4,300. But that's still 200 to 250 points down from here. There's opportunity.
Yeah, that's worth playing.
Yes, that's worth playing. We're not talking about a 50-point pullback here. You can make some serious money on a 200-point drop.
There's definitely room for downside, I guess, is what I'm trying to point out at the end of the day. But it doesn't mean it has to happen right now either, right? It could. Here's the thing that I think a lot of people tend to forget is they think that price has to come down to meet trend. Price can go sideways to meet trend for a long period of time. and continue to stay above certain supports and run over to that trend before it ever comes back down.
You're saying,
and that's why I would say people in this area looking for a moonshot could end up getting just chopped out, right? I think that's something we need to entertain too. At the end of the day,
that would be Max Payne sideways till the end of the year, man.
That's what Bitcoin's been doing. That's exactly what Bitcoin's been doing.
I want to share this with you guys real quick. All right. This is the 2-hour chart. Will, I know you don't typically go this low. All right. But pretty clear break of trend. All right. Pretty damn clear. We came back in to retest this level right here. I'll make it a little bit thicker. So this was our previous floor. Okay. Came back. This right here, you could consider this like a bull trap, fake reclaim of this range low. We spit right back out. All right. So what could I potentially see from here? I mean, look, we blasted through this level here, our high time frame mid range, and we never came back to even retest this level right here. Like, we did not come back and retest it at all. We gapped up. There's so many gaps and inefficiencies in this chart. If we pulled back even to here, everybody would say it's completely over, and then we could literally just go back to all-time highs before the election or something like that. But on the low time frame, like, this is a really clean setup here. Horizontal, diagonal confluence. This blue line right here is like our floor from, before it was over last year. Like, this is our, like, this is like mega supply up here, okay? That's what this is. This is mega supply because it's like the highest bracket or highest range on the entire chart. We came back to it, fake little reclaim into it, and now we're starting to break down. Like, I don't see why this isn't a move you can play. Like, this is, I mean, you could even do something like this, clear invalidation. I mean, there's a ton of opportunity for something like this, It doesn't have to be exactly like that, but anyways, I think that there's a lot of opportunity, and this looks like a pretty clean structural breakdown. On top of that, you've got things like Apple nuking, Microsoft looks like crap, I'll go back to Tucker.
Ooh.
You guys care if I grab the chart there for a minute?
I'd be offended if you didn't.
I mean, what more is there to say, Will? What more is there to say?
I know there's a lower time, time.
Dude, they turned the twop off. Look at that. That was a clear twop. Turned it off.
That's all that happened.
Stairs up, elevator down.
And they just gapped it under the line.
Yeah, let's
You could get a retest of that, though. You could definitely get a retest of that. Fill that gap in, retest that trend line. That would rip equities, though, man. That almost might be like too aggressive.
That would be too. I think it'd be bullish at that point, honestly.
Yeah.
If it came back to 190, yeah.
And guys, real quick, if you are here, thank you so much for spending your Monday morning with us. But if you could just take one quick moment and please like this stream. It does wonders for the algorithm and really helps us as a young and up-and-coming channel. So please just take one quick moment and smash that thumbs up for us. Should just take a quick moment. Usually our goal is 20. We'll stick with 20 today. It's a Monday. It's a Monday. Let's try to run the range high of 20 likes for this stream. So thanks so much for being here, guys.
I'm going to cover Qs real quick, if that's all right. So what are we seeing with Qs? I would say on the higher time frames, you've recaptured your resistance, right? You've created support above resistance. To expect a breakdown before you've even broken this support, I think it's a futile move, right? I think you need to catch the breakdown and then catch the retest and then take the downside if that's going to occur. That's how your flush is going to occur. I think a lot of people at the end of the day, they look for a flush that goes straight down, but the reality is the flush has to break, retest, then run. If you ever get a scenario where prices goes bloop, expect this thing to start reversing, right? It's going to start going like this because false breakouts flush, whereas real breakdowns, real structural breakdowns retest. And that's something I've just learned over time. is that like a lot of the time, if you're going to get a structural directional change where price is going to start going directionally this way, you start catching retests to continue to bait buyers to be able to buy that all the way down, right, to your zone. Where you have to be careful is when you start getting flushes, right? You get a flush, bounce, flush. Now you're starting to get into a scenario where you're starting to get reversals, right? And your market starts to reverse on these flush moves. And this same thing occurred with Tesla, and a lot of people missed this one. This was a very easy flush reversal move to look for, right? So you had, and you could see it because you could see the weakening in price as Tesla started to break down. And that was here to here. People missed it. Lower low, lower high, right? Lower low, lower high. And people kept missing and missing and missing and telling people how it was going to reverse back up. The reality was this was too strong and you were looking for the flush. Price then came up, tried to retest the high, flushed, right? Once you caught the flush here, then and my buy area was 125. We went much deeper than I got filled, but I was like, oh man, is this thing going to go way deeper? I was really questioning this move, right? But the market tends to trend right back above Confluence, and Confluence really was over here, right?
Will, can you go back to QQQ? I want to understand this a little bit from your perspective. Can you zoom in a little bit? This is like ultra high time frame. So weekly. Can we go to like the 4 to 6 hours, something like that?
Well, here's your daily.
Even that's fine.
Okay.
My question to you is, so yes, that's like a nice like high time frame trend. Where could you see this going? So it sounds like you are potentially expecting some downside in the short term, right? Maybe nothing too crazy, but you could see some downside.
I need to see it violate these highs. I need to see a violation of this support. As of right now, we're still above it. Even if we were to ignore this over here, right?
Which one do you carry more weight in? Horizontal support and resistance or diagonal?
So diagonal doesn't mean anything to me. That's what a lot of people maybe don't understand when I talk about things. It's like horizontal is just telling me what directionality is, right? Whereas the angled one is telling me what direction. So is the trend down or is the trend up, right? And so I tend to draw trends under or above. If I think it's bearish, I draw trend above and I wait for retest above, right? If I think the trend is up, I draw underneath and I go retest up. But I'm looking for horizontals to continue to retest price. So like price across, right?
That's your range high right there. That's basically your range high. If we lose that range high, you could consider the price action above a deviation or manipulation.
Yep.
And then, down.
And then I would look for trend to hold down to the next horizontal.
Yep.
Right. And if we broke that horizontal and trend, and you can see right here, the funny thing is like it always tends to be that cross marker where price likes to play. And so if price is going to come down, it'll always be that cross marker where price came down to the high or to the trend, right? Your support and your trend. So this is your make or break zone when you're looking for major moves. You're looking for a directionality to switch here, or you're looking for price to pop back up and hold trend, right? And you're looking at it based on support and trend directionality.
But I'm also telling you, so like on the low time frames, we've had a clear break of trend. Like you don't see it here, but if you zoom in, you can see that we did have a pretty clear break of trend,
I mean, this is what I'm considering the trend area right here.
No, but look, so right above where price, so go a little bit lower time frame for me. Go like 4 hour. All right.
Yeah, let's bring it down to 8. See what 8 looks like.
No, we need lower than that. We need a little bit more. That's fine. Yeah, right above us, that low that was formed like a few days ago. Right. Yeah. Right in there. Up to the left. Nope. Up to the left. Right. Nope. Right in the middle where you just went. Go to like nope. So see like the high of this trend so far, like
right here.
Down from there, the low.
Yep.
Right there. Draw a horizontal line right there.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean,
low. That was our range low. Not a diagonal, right? Like draw like your horizontal like you
Oh,
were.
horizontal? Okay.
Yeah. So like a horizontal range low right there.
Yep.
So we had a break of structure on the low time frames, and we even had a little fake deviation or fake reclaim back into it. So the way I look at that is I say, okay, we lost our range low. We had a failed attempt to reclaim it. Yeah, there's gaps all over. If you've been waiting for gaps to fill, on the way back. Yeah. There's gaps all over, like they matter, but eventually they'll get filled. But I'm looking at that and I'm saying we lost our range low.
Mm-hmm.
We lost our range low. Like we should send it back down to the next range low. The next range low that I see is probably about where your mouse is, maybe slightly lower than that.
I mean, this, but we're in the same boat here. This is exactly where I'm seeing it. Like, I can't expect to come here until I break here, right? Even on these time frames, I would still expect from even these time frames. Look, I can zoom out on the 4 hour and I can see the same areas, right? I would still expect this area right here to get violated and for price to go below here before I would expect any type of major flush move. Even on the lower time frames. To me, this is still holding. This right here, like this is an anomaly. This is a deviation.
If we lose that line right there, I would agree with you. That line right there, like that's why we're sitting here right now.
Mm-hmm.
If we lose that, you're talking about like a serious potential for a sell-off because there's a lot of supply above head.
Well, you're either going to flush or you're going to continue to bounce like you have been, right? Until you get to there.
But with the move we're seeing in Apple today, I feel like it's almost indicating that a flush is going to be more likely if that level is lost. To see one of the largest companies, if not, is it the largest company in the stock market right now?
Billions, yeah. I think it's like 3 something.
Is it the biggest one by market cap though?
Mm-hmm.
Or was it? Okay. Yeah, to see the biggest company in the New York Stock Exchange selling off like that today. If anything, I think it's tipping its hat a little bit to what might come next for the larger, broader indices. But
speaking of tipping hats, what do you guys think about the Bitcoin miners puking today?
Oh, miners? Yeah, I think it's just following crypto.
Oh shoot! Hang on.
Yeah, I think miners are just following crypto. I mean, that's. Ooh, I would say that's not a hard one to take, but like.
Ooh, we're gonna add some.
I think I accidentally added that to the stream, but.
Huh?
The question is.
I added that to the stream.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, man.
Are they leading Bitcoin, or are they uncorrelated?
I'm wondering if they are leading Bitcoin or if they are, because I mean they bled in unison, last week, but Bitcoin didn't really bleed over the weekend. So
let's do a little.
I like that area you got there marked out, Tucker. That's a good spot. I think Mars is nearly bottom, to be honest with you.
Hang on, let's put one. All right, Bitcoin on bottom, HUD on top.
Well, do you think Mara is the best proxy to play miners through? I'm just wondering.
Bro, 100%. I know people keep talking about HUD 8 because by market cap, but market cap doesn't mean anything because if you look at upside, Mara has had better upside than HUD. And it's significantly higher market cap.
But it's about upside from here, Will.
I think it will continue to thrive, man. I don't
think it's gonna do poorly or anything. But
yeah, no. What I mean by that is, I think anything HUT does, Mara will do better.
Nah,
that's what I think.
Tucker just goes, nah.
Look,
why did you say nah?
Look, you got. I'll give you an example, right? I would say arguably Rivian and Tesla have been really good performers this year, right? So, but if you look at Tesla and you look at Rivian, Tesla's had better performance, right? Whereas Rivian has had, by market cap, decent performance. So I would say like your HUD 8 is your Rivian and your Mara is your Tesla, bro. And I think that just people are so zombified on these companies and thinking that, oh, Tesla's going to go to 1,000, or 1,400 again.
Yeah.
After the split, that they're going to just ape in at ridiculous market caps. The market and your average retailer does not understand market cap. They don't. And they tend to bid the worst possible return assets.
And by the way, that's the reason why these meme coins pump like they do, is because they do not understand for Doge to hit $100 or something like that.
Yeah,
It basically flips the market cap of everything else. So
there's that, Max, and I think the other part that and I've heard the most ridiculous arguments on this. There's arguments on they don't understand inflation on a lot of these tokens too. Something like Doge has just like this infinite inflation that can just keep on going. And like mining wise, I think I was looking it up in 2021. It was like 10,000 Doge a day or something crazy, or 100,000. I don't remember the exact.
The best is when they said SHIB was going to $1, man.
Yeah.
Bro, when people say that, it's like, can you look at the market cap and look at the market cap of Apple? And if you think they can get to the market cap of Apple, you let me know. We'll get to $1.
We need counterparties. You can't explain everything. We need counterparties.
Yeah.
And liquidity begets liquidity, man. People just they don't understand numbers. Math is not hard.
It's not hard. Damn, man. I'm gonna add on a gap fill 245. That's the move, man.
Look, if I walk into a gas station and I see a Snickers bar for $5, I'm gonna go to Walgreens or something. I'm not buying that Snicker bar for $5. Whereas a lot of people be like, well, I'm already here, so I'm gonna buy the Snickers bar for $5. No. Why would you pay that much more for a Snickers bar when you know it's cheaper right across the street?
Yeah, you don't want to be the wolf of your mom's basement, right?
The wolf of your mom's basement. Man.
You say that? Well, that was
forever. Yeah, that was me.
Do we have a clip of you saying that? Was that on the show?
Yeah, it was on the market on the was Twitter Spaces. It was one of the Twitter Spaces.
Which space was it? I need to clip that. I don't even remember which one it was.
I don't know. I'd have Edward try and find it. He knows.
That was so funny,
one of the
I was cracking up.
Dude, Max is sitting there. He's like, man, you had me die.
Dude, you did when you just whipped that out. Oh man, it was all too real, Will. It's just so.
All I hear,
basement.
Bro, all I hear is I want to be the next Wolf of Wall Street. You're gonna be the wolf of your mom's basement. By the time you're gonna lose all your money.
So funny, guys. One thing I was looking at earlier today was I think we lost our man Snorlax here. One thing I was looking at earlier today was DXY, and I actually think that DXY looks okay. Actually, I got my screen up here. I'm gonna share this real quick.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that too. I do think DXY looks really bullish.
I actually think it looks really good here. So
yeah.
I'm looking at this. I mean, in the short term, I could see maybe a pullback to, retest this level right here, something like that. Maybe like right here, who knows? But either way here, I mean, this is a pretty clearly defined range low, pretty solid little bear trap right here, little wedge. And then of course we've got a monthly imbalance from up here. We never came back to fill. Right underneath, we've got some equal highs. And I just can't help but think this will be another potential seasonal headwind for equities and for crypto, or at least it'll give people the opportunity, to jump ship here if DXY potentially is going to spring here. And I mean, the trap has been set. The support was set, the trap was set. We are sort of like compressing here, nice little breakout potential, and it wouldn't surprise me to see, DXY at 106, potentially 107, 108, and of course I think that would make things a little bit tricky for equities and for crypto. So I don't know, just wanted to get some thoughts from you guys on that, but I don't think it looks bad here. Sorry, let me shrink my screen.
Are we able to share, are one of these configurations, are you able to do two screens at the same time? Like,
try to customize it. Let me see.
Look, if you need any screen, it's mine, because mine's the counterparty of your argument. I'm just saying.
Whoa.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think maybe we can. I can just switch over to you, Tucker.
No, I mean, yeah, you can, but Yeah, no, just it'd be sweet if we could have like yours, mine, and Will's all on here. Show how
Yeah.
different they are. No, but yeah, I mean, I had a pretty similar thing drawn out. I mean, if that was a bear trap, man, that's vicious. I mean, kind of like you had drawn there. I think we at least get up in here, right? I think we at least hit 103. It
I think that's a
depends
possibility.
on
Yeah.
it depends on the print this week, though.
What are you expecting for a print, Tucker?
I mean, I think we're gonna. I agree with consensus. Like we're gonna come in hot. I don't know if we come in hot versus consensus, but this was always the time of year where we were expecting, potential upticks. So, like if you look at what is it, USIR, yeah, that. Like, I don't know why it's in green. I don't like that. A nice blue will do. I don't know. Like we could have set a local bottom, man. We could have set maybe not this. I don't think it's gonna be like that, but we maybe could do something like this, right?
I mean, inflation's kind of in that range, man, where it's like, should you really risk it at this point? Looking for,
I know. So like 2%, right? 2% is where we want to be. Where is it? Right there. Okay, let's just make this 2. Make it a nice thick line. So yeah, I mean, I think he'll be happy if we can just hang out around here. Like, I fully expect this thing to overshoot, though. Like, I fully expect this thing.
Oh, same here. Yeah, I think everybody expects that.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, something to really consider though is like, yes, I would agree with you, but we haven't had, going all the way back to last June, we haven't had a CPI print not come in softer than a previous month.
Bro, look at
like
that. That's
going all the way back to June 2022.
That's what I was about to say, bro. That's what I was about to say. Look at that trend.
You could have charted CPI. Wow.
Yep.
That is wild.
We talked about that on Market Check before, man.
Yeah, I remember.
I would arguably say you could probably catch those lows too.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could probably do something like this.
Yep. If you break that though to the downside, that could be pretty nasty.
Yeah.
What does that lowest point on that CPI chart look like? To the left where you started that.
This one?
Yep.
-2.
What? No, date.
09.
What date? July 09?
Yeah, July 09.
Go look at the SPY on July 09.
I bet it was brutal. Or was it recovering? I don't know.
That's what I want to see. I haven't actually looked into that. Putting that against that.
July 09 was in here. I mean, it was recovering, but July was. Where's July?
Yeah, that pullback going into that.
July was a big green candle. This was no. I don't know. Yeah, this you could just call it.
Oh, it was the bottom of that pullback.
Yeah.
The bottom of the pullback right there.
Yeah.
So arguably, if you came down to that trend, you could say wherever you are in price might be a bid area.
It peaked July of 09 at 5.7. Or 08, sorry. July of 08. July of 08. Where is it? Right here. It peaked here. It started coming down. Yay.
We're your flush happened.
Boom. Deflation.
That's the flush.
Right? That, yeah, man. That's
the flush. But
so
maybe, here, I would. But Tucker,
here, man.
Entertain this. Would you not say that downfall we've had from inflation is not arguably the meat of the move?
No. Because they changed the calculation. They changed it to 1 year back instead of 2. And these, I'm telling you,
they always manipulate it though. People act like this is the first time.
No, I know.
They always do this.
I'm just saying. Wait
It's
till these
typical
rate
politics.
hikes. I'm in the macro LARP, man. Wait till these rate hikes come. They'll be hitting. This
Hey
thing's
Max,
gonna
can
go
you throw up
deep.
my chart real quick?
Here, I'll put yours
Oh,
on.
you will.
Oh, I guess it's Tucker. Yeah. Let's put it up there. As you can see, mine's quite a bit different from your guys's.
Ooh.
And
Set the
basically, what
dollar.
I've got us in is a falling channel, right? A bullish channel. Now, eventually, this thing breaks out. It's just where does it break out, right? That's the bigger scenario here. Does it continue to trend, or does it break out at some point? I had it breaking out over here. Obviously, we've actually rejected with lower highs here on the higher time frames, and really we could break down to 98, 8, whatever, right? But the structural breakdown isn't going to be anything dramatic. It just seems like it's just going to be a pain move that's going to continue to do what it does until it breaks out. Because I always look at it like this: when you end up in these falling type channels or whatnot, these bull channels, I would arguably say your floor is set and you have to break out at some point, but you can't go deeper than your floor, right? So a flush on the dollar doesn't seem likely. Is kind of where I'm going with this. Whereas a lot of people think a flush on the dollar is likely, I don't think it is, which means that a significant bull market, it's hard to say that that's a possibility with the way the dollar looks, right? It means that we'll probably see slow growth at best in 2024 and downside at worst. So those are the two scenarios I have for 2024. And slow growth is going to be nowhere near what we've seen this year. Like, we're going to literally just sit here on like SPY and stuff and just do this. And that's going to be your growth. Whereas people are looking for massive candle upsides, and that'll be what they'll be getting. Nothing in percent. But that's something I've been entertaining on that end. I mean, yeah, even SPY, like, I've got a couple different supports here. Really, SPY could come back down and even revisit like these lows and stuff like that, right? It can come down and recapture all that price before it breaks out. And that would be really painful. That'd be that 4,300 you're talking about, Max, to the downside. But the reality is too is they could just do this till they hit trend and then break out against that.
Will, look at M2.
Is M.2?
No, just type in M2. It'll pull it up. No, don't do compare. Don't do compare. Just
Oh yeah. Let me drop
click
this.
Yeah.
Cool.
Click on economy on the right over there. On the categories, yeah. M2, yep.
This one?
That'll do, yeah.
That'll do.
Yeah, do
Line
don't
chart?
Yeah, just do a line. Just do a line.
I don't think they have. Yeah, they don't have other options. All right, yeah. I mean, what is there? I mean, it looks like it's bouncing to me. I mean, stochastic looks floored. You're above the 50, which is super bullish. Arguably, I'd say you're going to bounce here.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's been the first major pullback in M2 in a very long time. And I think once these interest rates hit, once this money runs out, once people don't have any savings and the money supply is contracting, I think growth will be impossible. So I think deflation, it is what it is, brother.
Well, as we saw before, deflation is only temporary.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just think
it's like a black swan event.
I don't think growth is on the table next year, man. I really don't.
Oh yeah, that's basically my argument with DXY, right? Is like,
I mean, not even slow growth, like negative growth, contraction.
Well, here's the thing, and I think a lot of people tend to forget this, is like, slow growth is negative growth, right? And the reason it's negative growth because it's just passive. It's passive growth. Passive growth is not investment growth. So I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just basically your 401ks, so on and so forth, that are just flowing in and slowly grinding the chart to the upside and people are expecting, and then eventually don't get what they're looking for, and then just dump the market at some point through that slow growth period.
Yeah, man, I worry that it's so over.
Passive growth is always a thing, though, and I think like people just should always keep that in mind. Always keep that passive growth is a thing in stock markets. It's something that we have to like always acknowledge, and it can support markets that are basically illiquid or not moving, and so on and so forth. That's what passive growth does. That's the whole intention of it. That's why they created it, is to keep markets afloat in times that it may not have interest for investors. Arguably, I would say this though: Coinbase looks like the biggest bull trap in history. It looks like it wants to come all the way back down the trend. And I think if crypto does see that downside, man, I could definitely see Coinbase following that downside, and really destroying a lot of people because they come in at 115. If you were long here, you're coming all the way back down to 70. You're gonna get destroyed on your positions.
Yeah.
That's your support area right there. It's easy to see support all the way across. And arguably, I would say like that is really good potential for this to happen for coin. And then I wanted to point out one other thing here with Mara. I would say arguably we're on support, right? We're in that support zone. Now, I do want to also point out too, we did also double top here, right? Now, decisively, the market has to make a decision. Do we break the low or do we break out for the high? If we break out for the high, we've got a lot of room to the upside, right? But if we break the low here, you could arguably chop back into these ranges right across here at $9. And then, you're going to start recapturing. And at some point, you're just going to be directionally this way. And that's going to be bad. So I would expect that they would try to defend this price zone because their directionality could change very easily if they break below this support here. In my perspective, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know why that chart looks like Tesla to me.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, they look like they're printing the same pattern. I know they're not correlated, right? But I looked at it at first glance. I was like, that looks just like Tesla.
Oh man.
And here was your bull div right here.
Oh man. Huh?
Kind of looks like Matic pre-breakdown.
Is Matic nuking as we speak right now?
It's not doing too hot.
Bitcoin's not doing too hot either. Hang on, I have a theory, guys. I have a theory. I'm gonna take over the stream real quick. Will
the level for Bitcoin is it's gonna go to 28, man. Like if we're gonna bounce, it's gonna be from 28.
Wait, guys, let me do some. Maybe I should make a YouTube video about this. It might be too much alpha for the stream, but okay. I have a theory of where we are right now. I'm gonna throw 2000 out because we pretty much immediately nuked after the yield curve bottomed, like just immediately nuked. So it's really not relevant because we haven't done that. Looking at the yield curve, SPY. Okay, so basically we topped 224 days after it bottomed, right? So just make it clean. We topped like in here. It was above zero though. Okay, we got to get above zero, right? So that would basically put us. I took the thing off, but it was in like December, right? So 224 days. It's like December 11th, right? So Q4 top, I could see it, but I think because obviously we're not going to do the exact same time frame, right? So, but I look in here, down here, right? Right now, I should have pointed out, we're 98 days post bottom, assuming the bottom's in. So if we take that would say we're right here, right? I think we're about to do something like this, right? I think we're about to have probably one of these kind of moves, like a solid pullback, and then deviate, and then it's over. Like I think that lines up pretty damn well with what we're already kind of speculating. So this might be it pulled back real quick, a little more. It pulled back to the level almost that it was at when the yield curve bottomed. Okay. That would be 4,100, man. It was a little above that. Maybe we get 4,200 or 4,150. But I think that pullback's a bid. Then we deviate the previous high, as in this high, and then it's over. That's
I would say 4,300. Then we deviate, and then we can see that downside.
So yeah,
I would love a move like that where we go 4,300, 5,000, then 3,200.
Yep. That's my thoughts. Is 4,300 before 5,000, and then 33,000 before.
No, you guys weren't paying enough attention, guys. You guys weren't paying enough attention. Okay. So we pull back into where the yield curve bottomed, where SPY was. Okay, 4,100. Call it 4,100. Then we deviate this high, right?
I don't see them letting you have that, man.
We deviate this high. We tap. Look at this. This is too.
Call the numbers out, Tucker. What are the numbers?
We go to 4,100.
Just draw your trends. Draw your trends.
And then we go here. We deviate this high right here. Mm-hmm. Right? We deviate it. We tap this. Right? We go to 4,650, and then it's completely over. And that's it.
So we don't go on to make a new high, like a new all-time high.
No, you really are kind of cucking all the double toppers, honestly.
Yeah.
I could see a scalp out. That's usually what I like to call those, is a scalp out to keep people from, getting their positions more or less.
That's if we ran back 2008, not quite exactly, but pretty closely. That's if we ran back 08. And this thing would top out in December.
I don't know though, Tucker. Like, whenever they want to make a move, like say they want to go to 3,000, right? You want to trap max long. The best way to trap max long is pull above all-time high.
You want to trap max long, or you want to trap people going max long?
You want to trap people going max long. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, because the way you said it, my name is Max, and we want to trap max long. I'm like, well, you can try.
We want to trap max on a long at the all-time highs. No, I'm just
You're not trapping max long.
but I would say arguably they're going to deviate high, which means they're going to go higher than the previous high if they're going to go that deep. Because you've trapped so many longs at that position, like you're going to make so much money on the downside.
No, I think if they go that deep, if they go to 4,100 now, that you don't need to deviate 4,800 all-time high to trap people. You deviate 4,600. Everybody says, all right, even us, right? Like double top, we can still get long 200 points, take it to all-time highs, deviate,
I wouldn't.
Whatever.
That close.
I think 4,600 would trap the most people, honestly.
The thing that people got to understand is, like, whenever you're that close to all-time high, it's not good to try and bet on a little bit of move, right? It's a little bit of move. I'll sit on that move. I will sit, I'll wait. And if they break all-time high, I'll take positions, and then I'll have cuts right below that. So
you'll get long on a break of all-time high.
No, I'll get long on a break and a consolidation of all-time high. I need to see consolidation though. I don't want to see any type of breakdown. Will.
They're going to trap you.
I'll take a haircut then. I'll take a haircut on the move. I'm just saying. Like
the biggest bull trap I've ever seen, but they won't trap me.
Here's the thing. Look, Tucker, with proper organization on your trade, right? If you're coming in, you're setting your stops, you got your positions taken, you're good for either side, right? And I've made enough to where, like, if I take a haircut, it's not going to affect my overall, right? Yeah. So if we get up there, I take a haircut on the move, it's worth the risk to me. Right, it's all about your risk to reward. So at that point, and I'm not talking a breakout, and I'm like, okay, broke out, I'm going to get in. I'm not following that consensus. I'm following the consensus of breakout, consolidation high, holding the support. Looks like it's going good. Continues to try and tap the highs to try and get breakout. Okay, now we're kind of looking good.
I know. I'm just trying to figure out exactly where this pullback's going to go and exactly where the high is going to be. I don't care about like whether or not whether that's all-time high or 4,600,
But let's
I will be there.
let's switch over to mine real quick because I gotta run. But let's look at Bitcoin, arguably, right?
Oh
I
man,
think we
it's
haven't-
ogre.
I think we haven't talked about this, right? We haven't
Get
talked
out
about
of
this.
my swamp, donkey.
Look. I'm gonna
Man.
give you a button. Look, I'm gonna throw it out there.
All right, all right.
There. Okay. You ready? We're
Cool.
gonna go 1 here. We're gonna go
We already went there.
2 here.
We already went.
And then we're gonna go over here, right? And we're gonna go 3 here. So I mean, this is a pretty nice looking trend, right? So we can essentially say at this point, either you make or you break here. It's one of the two. And I don't think that we bounce back up if we break. I think we directionally change, right? And that means we're going to chop back down to, probably 25, probably down 21. But as of right now, we are still above trend, both on the higher time frame and arguably support, right? Arguably support. So here's your daily breakout right here. This is basically where they came in, tapped, rolled down, tapped, broke above, used support, coming back to retest.
Will, I'm going to tell you this. I am bidding 28K. I will be looking for longs at 28K, but that's still $862 below where we're at right now.
To me, it's 28,317. And if they can hold this range, I'm just telling you, expect one of these. All right. Or even one of these. Or even one of these in your face. Okay. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. Look, you can take it however you want. But I mean, we can arguably throw up a bars, right? If you guys wanted to do that. And we can look at it from a bars pattern and kind of be like, all right, what does a bars pattern look like here? If I could find one. Here we go. And we go over here. We go here to here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Funny how that played out, right?
Dude, that's egregious. That is.
Wait, what is he? No. You can't just slap it on there.
It's only here
that's
to here.
not how fractals
It's only
work.
here to
No, that's just.
I'll
I have
show
no
you
words.
you want to know the best part about this fractal? I didn't
show
massage it. I didn't massage it at all.
You're right. You did just slap it on there.
I just slapped it on there. That's it.
Well, I'm not gonna let you get away with that, man.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna allow for that.
Hang on now. There it is.
If they let
I'm
taking control, Will.
Bybit longs print that, well, man, I'm done with this market.
There it is.
No, they're going to. I'm telling you. They're going to let it. Look at this bleed. Look at this bleed. It's slowing so much. There's no bleed left. There's none. Look at Max's face.
I mean, dude, I'm open to something like that because if history's any indication, like we'll get one big scary flush 6 to 9 months before the halving. Typically after that, we enter a consolidation period and then we get expansion like 6 months after the halving. I'm open to something like that. I'm definitely open to it. But I don't think you're going to see like 40K, 37 to 40K until probably the halving, man. Like the fractal that you had, Will, didn't really consider an extended accumulation period, which Tucker's fractal does. I'd be more in the camp of holding 25K for like 6 to 9 months and then expansion before any serious upside from here.
Here's the thing. After this hits,
bro,
then you're going here to here to here, potentially directionally this way, right? Or
Tucker's
you're going to
scenario,
fail
Will,
here to
are
here.
you looking at Tucker's screen? That is like my dream scenario right there. That would be absolutely fantastic.
There it is. It's
I mean,
perfect.
look.
I literally barely massaged this either. This is literally COVID.
All I'm gonna say is we all dream.
Perfect.
Right? We all have a
Right.
dream.
The top is
We
perfect.
all have a dream.
Man, if that happens, I'm gonna print.
Yeah. Same.
If that
Which
happens, you guys will never see Tommy on stream again, man. He's gonna go buy an island
Yeah.
because his
is it.
DMT bag is gonna
Look,
go to 5,000.
all I'm saying, look,
on.
if we get to 36K, man, Max has promised me a bonus. All right. So just
36K.
everybody put
I have not confirmed that, but I will confirm it now because I don't think we're going to 36 like you have it at least. I think we could go to 36 potentially later this year after like another flush. But I don't think
if we trend break, I would be in the scenario of Tucker's discussion, right? But we have to trend break first.
There's
keep in mind,
there's your path. There's your path to 36.
I want everybody who's watching this to keep in mind, I did not massage my
Massaging
fractals.
should not be looked down upon.
All right.
Massaging
Will is no longer a doctor, man. Will is a masseuse.
Oh no!
Massage my
There we
fractals.
go. There we go. Look at that. That's the bullish scenario.
Yeah,
honestly.
that's great. I could see something like that potentially, but I can't be bullish here. I can't even think about being bullish here until 28K gets tagged. Then we start talking about it. When I fill my longs at 28K, you ain't seen propaganda yet, brother. Just like Tucker said.
You can fill your shorts at 36K. All right.
I think everybody wants that level, man. I mean, I would say that
I think everybody wants 40.
36K is a crowded trade.
Yes, sir. I agree, Tommy. Because it's an obvious level. Imagine if they made you wait like another year for that level to get tagged. You know?
Yeah.
They could.
Will, don't back off now, man. Don't back off the conviction now.
Top in
I'm
September.
not. I told you,
man.
hey, trend break. I'm a bear, but we haven't trend broke.
Are you just talking about this like the normie diagonal? Right?
What do you mean normally diagonal?
Like this? Is that what you're talking about?
That's the trend, yeah. What do you mean the normie diagonal? It's the trend.
It's the normie diagonal, bro.
That's why it's called a trend line. It's a trend.
Yeah.
As long as it holds a trend, you're good.
Hang on.
You got trend plus support in that area too.
Okay, but see, either way, look at this. Either way, it's this one. I'm getting rid of this one. And we're going to do this one. Yeah, either way, they're going to break it. And then everybody's going to get bearish, and then they're going to rip it. Either way. Either scenario.
You want me to show you the magic? I got to run, but let me show you the magic real quick. Go ahead and switch back to mine real fast. Look. Tap, tap, tap. A lot of consolidation. And where are we at right now?
All right, we're going back to my screen. I'm going to show you guys some magic. All right, this is what's
Max, once you show that magic, I want to take a look at the YGG chart. That's something that really popped off over the weekend. We can wrap the show up after YGG, I think.
clear range high, clear range low, interaction with the mid range. It's also our POC right at this 28K level.
I'm okay with 28K.
We're going down to this level, gentlemen. We're going down here. And then we can talk about
28K is TP1.
You know, Max uses TradingView a lot from his proficiency with the drawing tool, man.
But
leave me alone, guys. All right, I have no life. All I do is chart.
Here's the thing, though. If we go back and revisit those highs, don't think there's going to be a rejection.
Yeah,
you've already flushed out all the sellers at that point.
I feel that way about.
By the way, it wouldn't surprise me.
I feel the same way about 30.5. Like, it's one of those levels where we don't really have any shorts to squeeze until we get above 30.5. But if we get above 30.5, like so many shorts are underwater, we're probably going to rebalance it into a new high.
But you're going to see a lot of new shorts open too.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to see a lot. Well, yeah, because you got the trend high and you got the trend low. And a lot of shorts are going to play the trend high. And they're going to start opening new positions at the highs. And then they're going to get blown out. Just like
I'm just saying this is very much a possibility that needs to be prepared for, is a deviation of this range low down here, sub 25K. That could be like a serious bottom.
I'm on board for 28, but 25, I think directionally you're changing. You're changing.
I don't think so.
Not you. I mean the market. Right? The market. Directionally, I think the market is changing trend if you get down to 25K. From here.
Okay, yes, but I would disagree because look, oops. I mean, dude, we could literally do something like this. Let me just erase this. Let me just.
It could be a big deviation. Maybe they recapture the trend.
It's as simple as this. It's as simple as this, man. We could literally just basically come back and just range right here. Like we could literally just spend time up here. All of this is demand right here, and we broke out of demand. This is our demand zone. So we could come back. It's not uncommon to retest demand multiple times. All right. This is demand.
I agree.
So it's like this is, I wouldn't even argue that this is a break of trend. Like this is literally just like a second retest. Maybe you take out this low just to screw some people over.
Let me so I gotta run real quick, but let me just show you what my thoughts are. I cleared my whole chart, and I'll show you.
I like my chart.
I'm in the same thesis as you, but I want to show you kind of a little bit of a different scenario. So like this is, yes, I agree. This is your low. This is your high, right? And I agree you can come back down and test this low. But I think distributively, right, when you're looking at a distributive top, you're looking for them to do something like this, right? You're not giving them the middle. You're not giving them the middle.
Shorten that up.
That's this right here, back into here, and then a roll back out, right? And it's very similar to arguably what they did here. Now they did give them a middle, right? They gave them the middle.
Well, I think you could shorten that up though, man. Like I think you're watching it kind of run out of steam in real time. Like yes, like that.
Even if you wanted to shorten it, but that's still a pop, and that's.
But we could also drop down to 26 from here and pop back up to 28 and not have to go make a new high yet. You know, we'll see where this drop bottoms out. But I think if we go to 28, then it really negates the necessity for having to go higher.
The biggest thing for me is trend directionality, right? So if your trend's up, it's up. If it's down, it's down. And down, you're going to retest. You're going to flush. You got the flush, right? Because you never retested. Came back down. You knew that you were near a low here. And then on top of that cut low, you had a bull div in here telling you that you were near the low. And then if you were to take this out, you basically had a falling wedge. You had so many indications of price directionality here for a reversal that it ended up playing, right? And so for me, it's kind of like a bigger time frame. This is a pain trade is really what it is, right? So this is like a really painful drawdown into a breakout. And that's what I'm thinking this is going to be overall. And I think they've already gave up the middle here, right? And I think that's what they gave here. And I think the directionality is going to continue to trend up until it doesn't, and it comes back and trends later, right, to that low. And I think that's what they're looking for on this one. I think this is going to be a really painful drawdown before they end up coming back to that 25K that everybody expects that I think will play. It is, this is just my thoughts. That's minus all the other shit out of my chart, but like this is, I mean, everybody has their different positions at the end of the day, but like this is how I think they're gonna play the pain. Slow and methodical.
I can dig it.
Look, I'm open to it, man. I just want 28, and then we'll reevaluate. I think
not too much to ask. It's not.
It's not too much to ask.
Well, you want me to sell my position? Is that what's going on?
No, I don't. I don't, because I don't think that you're wrong necessarily. I just think that
No, I'm just playing. That was a joke.
I just think in the meantime, like the charts and the books are they're an oscillator, and there's just a lot of supply above head, and I just think it makes a lot of sense to send it back down first, even if it's only 28K. You know, even if it's only 28K, I think that would be healthy at a minimum. But I also think it wouldn't be bad for us to come back down to 25 and basically not make a new high until late Q4 or early Q1. You know?
Is this too much to ask, man? Come on. It's fine.
No, Tucker,
It's
that's
not.
totally reasonable, man. Come on.
Totally reasonable.
Totally reasonable.
All right, boys. I got to run.
You got to run?
Well,
We should wrap it up here anyways. We've been going for about an hour.
for sure.
Take us.
I want to take a look at YGG real quick before we wrap up. And then
Oh,
we
yeah.
can take like 2 minutes on it. And then
Man.
Oh, my.
How old
Oh,
is
yeah.
it? I'm on the 1 hour.
Savage chart.
What?
Oh, my goodness.
So basically, I explained this on the Giga Chat call, but what happened was there was this huge unlock of YGG token supply coming, and they telegraphed or they choreographed that they were going to sell it all, and it got people to short a bunch, and funding went super negative. But what they actually did was then they decided to blow out all the shorts, create forced liquidity, forced buyers, forced participation. And the token price, I mean, how many X's did it do? I mean, something crazy. So very PvP, very manipulated. But if you try to trade some of these very low float, low volume altcoins on perps, well, you have to be prepared to deal with the consequences, such as candles like these. So very fun.
Wait, that's not healthy price action, Tommy? What do you mean?
People are complaining about manipulation, but like, you know, it's not any different than any other day. It's just way less liquidity here. You know, it was very predatory. Let's be honest. But I mean, if you're aping into how many X's of a YGG pump a token that hasn't pumped in ages, then you know that's not really on the exchange, in my opinion. But yeah, that was one hell of a candle, one hell of a move. But we can go ahead and wrap up. I just wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit, because I know it moved very strongly over the weekend, and you know, there has still been, I wouldn't even call this really opportunity, because I don't, if retail made money on this, congratulations. Not many of you did. But yeah, that was a good show, guys. Good Monday. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to Will's Outlook, even though he had to depart just a few minutes early. But we appreciate you guys so much for being here, spending your Monday morning with us. Hopefully you were able to glean some actionable information about, you know, maybe how this market's going to trade this week. If you really enjoyed the content, or you want, you know, maybe a little bit closer look at how all of us are, you know, positioned in trading, we do have some premium services linked in the description of this YouTube video, as well as the link tree of our Twitter bio. Like I've been saying, I mean, we've been killing the Discord game lately. A lot of great plays. Don't want to toot our horn, you know, too much, but really has been great. But yeah, guys, have a fantastic Monday. We will be back tomorrow for another show. But y'all have a good one. Thanks again.